We're on to day 15 of the solo house flipping project, and Django is excited to be on the job. It is Saturday and he could hardly contain his excitement. So we head to Home Depot, and I actually forgot these 2 5-gallon pails of drywall mud on the bottom of my cart, and I didn't realize it until I almost got to my flip house, so I had to head back, but luckily they were still there. So now we're headed to the house, and let's get this drywall downstairs so we can get to work. It didn't take Django any time at all to find his favorite napping spot. Nothing's gonna stand between this guy and his naps. First thing I'm gonna do is to get these switches hooked up for that downstairs bathroom. I wanna make sure that the fan and light work before I start to get that drywall closed up. And remember, these lights have 5 different settings depending on what you prefer, which is a really nice feature. Now it is time to get this bathroom exhaust fan vented to the outside of the house. So I'm going to drill a pilot hole where I want it to go, and from the outside I'm going to use my hole saw to get that hole cut in, and I'm going to get that vent installed. Now I'm headed to the inside, and I'm going to hook up that rigid vent so that it's vented to the outside. Now that everything's hooked up and secured, I'm going to do some silicone on the outside, and I know it's white, but it will dry clear. Now I wanted to seal it from the inside with some expandable foam, and I had a little mishap here because the bottle exploded on me and almost hit my face, but I was lucky to dodge that. Now that we got the light and the exhaust fan hooked up, I can get some drywall on the ceiling. And I do need to put a refrigerator water line in, running from here all the way over to the left in the utility room, where I will put on a shutoff. But the one I bought was not long enough. So for the time being, I'm just gonna put half a sheet in here, and I will put the other half once I get that new water line in. And now that I got that light in, I can get it spotted and cut out, and we are going to have light in this bathroom, which makes it much easier to work. Once again, I am doing the best I can to use my scrap pieces in the smaller areas so I don't have as much waste. And one problem I did run into is that the tip of this beam was sitting a little proud from the wall. So to combat that, I ended up cutting a little V-notch out of the back of my drywall, making sure not to cut the front of the paper, and it actually worked like a charm, and I'm really happy with the result. For that drywall sheet next to that one I just put in, I will also have to cut out the back of it. So you can see me cutting out that back of the paper again and just kind of whittling away at it until it is good and I can get it fitted in here and screwed up, and yep, we're looking good. It definitely starts to make a difference in this basement once you get that drywall in. You can actually see the walls come together and the vision I have for the basement come to fruition. It definitely makes a big difference, and it's a huge step in the process. Now that I have drywall installed on the ceiling, I can turn my focus to the walls, and I'm actually going to leave the wall open where that new plumbing is going to go, just because I need as much easy access to that wall to be able to install the new water lines as well as the drain. So I got as much drywall installed as I could, and now I'm going to turn my focus to this room. I have all these buckets full of loose electrical, plumbing, and random stuff. So I just want to get them all emptied out and just get stuff organized so I can see what I have, so I'm not buying stuff that I don't need. And I'm not gonna lie, at this point I was tired. I've worked 6 days in a row and close to 60 hours, but Django reminded me that this guy is not gonna be able to afford to feed himself. And let me tell you, he has a ravenous appetite. So I put the axe to the grindstone and I just kept on working. And I started getting some more of this corner bead on, and then we're gonna take on some more mudding. I like to use this fiberglass mesh tape when finishing my drywall. This is the way my dad did it, and this is the way he taught me. So this is the way I do it, and I haven't really had a convincing argument to switch to paper. So I just do what I know, and it's worked for me so far. Let me know in the comments below if you like to use the mesh fiber tape to finish your drywall joints or if you like to use the paper tape. And maybe you can try to convince me to use the paper as well. And that is going to be a wrap for day 15. It was a long but productive week, and I am looking forward to some couch time with my best friend Django.